everyone. Thank you for joining us at our second workshop series. If this is your first workshop series you're attending, welcome. And if this is your second one, thank you for joining us again. So today we will cover how to dress for success, presented by me, Yasmin Gomez. So let's go over some ground rules before we get started. In the chat, please note down your name, email address, your school that you're currently attending, and your major. Make sure your mic is on mute, and if it's not, please mute it. We'll hear any background noises you have going on, or if other participants. It could also get the disruption or very noisy. So make sure we keep those on mute. And however, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself at any time, or feel free to comment in the comment box if you have any questions, or just anything. If you want to comment or add on to whatever I'm saying, that is perfectly fine. So now a quick overview of what this presentation is going to be. So we'll do the NMSI introductions, who's on the NMSI team, what is NMSI, professional apparel, and what it means for different occasions. We'll go over business professional wear, business casual wear, where to get professional wear, what not to wear, and general guidelines to dress for success. So let's start off with meeting the team. First, we have Luis Alonso Garcia. He is the Migrant Student Services Director. We have Sam Velez. She is the NMSI Associate Director, and there is her phone number if you want to reach her. At the end, we will have the general NMSI contact information. And then me, Yasmin Gomez. I'm the NMSI Administrative Assistant. My contact information is on there. I handle all student support services. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us. And like I said before, our contact information will be presented at the end again. So no worries or no rush to write all of this down. So let's start off with what is NMSI. So NMSI is the National Migrant Scholars Internship Initiative. We support internship experience through these three components. So we have the learning component, financial component, and professional component. So one thing to know about NMSI, it only provides services to CAMP students. We are here to service only CAMP students across the nation. So going back to the three components, we have the learning component, which entails the learning agreement, expectations, communication. This is where we ensure that you're having a learning experience through your internship. This is where we also go over what your learning outcomes will be, what you will be doing during your internship, and just overall and general communication between us and your employer, you and your employer, and then you and NMSI. So moving forward to the financial part of NMSI. So NMSI, biggest one for NMSI, we provide stipends, housing, relocation, so much financial support that NMSI could provide to you during your internship. All of this is figured out through a student needs assessment. So we'll do a whole, like, are you relocating? What's your housing situation like? What's your transportation situation like? And how far are you gonna be from where you're living to your internship site? Or are you traveling across the country to take on an internship experience? And then we also have the professional part of NMSI. We have resume building, interviewing skills, email etiquette. Those are just few of the things that we take on professionally. For example, this PowerPoint today, it falls under professional development. And with that, we have the whole NMSI workshop series, which falls under here. Any questions on what is NMSI? I know this was super brief. NMSI could literally be its own PowerPoint up to 30 minutes. So very briefly, just bringing up what is NMSI in a few seconds. Moving forward, going back to dressing for success, what does professional dress matter? Why does it matter? Why do people care about what I wear? So first off, it lets employers see you in the professional role you are seeking. So if you're going somewhere, let them know that that's the role you see yourself in. It's the first impression employers will get of you. So when you're walking into your interview, it's what future colleagues or future co-interns will see about you. That's the impression they get off of you. And then look the part. I mean, if you're trying to intern at a big business firm, you want to fit in, you want to look the part and make sure you show that the first time you meet your employer. You will never get a second chance to make a first impression. How you present yourself the first time around is how the interviewer, the employer, or future colleagues will remember you as. And quick side note, but if you dress for your first date, why not dress for the first meeting with an employer? You really want to make this a long-lasting impression. Any questions as to why professional dress matters? So we're going to go over different types of business meetings and what you should consider when it comes to these different types of business meetings. So first up, we have business professional. So business professional is like a major corporations that they tend to require business formal wear. We also highly recommend you dress as such for your first interview or when attending a career fair. Law offices, accounting firms, financial institutions, they're very business professional. And we will go into more detail in a bit about what exactly that means. We also have business casual. So business casual is what many typical office settings look like, and they have a more of a business casual look to them on a day-to-day basis. This dress is often seen in like government agencies and retail businesses, and just in general, business casual is a way to go depending on where you're working or what setting you're in. And we will go into more detail of what that looks like and what the difference between business professional and business casual is. So now, just casual. What does being casual mean? So when you're applying for a mechanical job, construction work, or similar occupations, consider interviewing in casual wear. You'll be working in a casual setting where a suit will do you no justice for hands-on work. I mean, imagine being in a suit working outside in the heat. It's no justice for anyone. So when dressing casual, just keep it simple, t-shirt, jeans, but you still, of course, want to look presentable. You wouldn't want to walk out there in your pajamas. So, like I said, we'll go more brief into what these look like and what to cover on these. So now, going back to business professional. So, quick overview of what business professional means. So, business professional consists of matching a suit. So, we want to stick with solid colors when it comes to matching your suit. So, either all black, navy blue, gray, or brown. And then your dress shirt underneath, you want to keep it white or a cream color. And then you want to pair that up with nice shoes and ensuring nice socks under that. So we also have traditional dress shirts and blouses. It's safe to play with a white color. And if you're pairing that with a tie, make sure to also keep that easy pattern, light color. So what does business professional dress mean? So like I said, it's like wearing a suit, slacks, or skirt, and then it's a button shirt and a matching jacket. Based on what we see and experiences we've come across, men wear a tie and dress shoes, women wear stockings, dress, skirt or dresses, and closed-toe shoes. To add on to the business professional overview, we've seen neckties. These are solid in color or minimal design. Tucked in shirts. So whether you're wearing pants on the bottom half or a skirt, you want to make sure to tuck in your shirt and it looks nice. And key thing to remember, it's always ironed. This is going to be mentioned a lot. Once again, this is your first impression for employers. So you want to make sure that it's always ironed, that it's washed, clean, and presentable. So business professional, what does that look like? So we see business professional consists of full-on suits. We see matching suits, white shirts underneath. Their ties are simple colors, simple patterns. We go over here, we see the skirts or full pants. Once again, matching colors and simple colors, easy to the eyes. It is up to you on what you prefer to wear and what you feel comfortable in. Not only do you want to dress good, but you also want to feel good when you're wearing this clothes. And brief note, just everything mentioned above should be used only as guidelines rather than hard and fast rules. The exact attire that is acceptable will depend upon your organization, your title, and different amount of factors. So now, you don't know what color to wear under your shirt? Well, this palette, pretty much the best palette I've seen to describe colors and what you should wear. Playing it safe is just white shirt, and if you're pairing that with a tie, simple ties mentioned before. And then if you want to pair your suit with a nice blouse, make sure we stick to solid colors. You don't want a vibrant red or something yellow. Colors like that sometimes can hurt the eyes depending on how bright your yellow is or how pink and just loud it is. So we want to keep it simple. So we see up here goes from simple white all the way to olive green. Um, yeah, play it safe and wear a white colored shirt if you feel like it. Solid colors are best when pairing with a suit so they aren't too distracting. And all these colors here are pretty subtle and neutral. So now moving to business casual. So a quick overview of what business casual is. So that can come along with dress slacks, along with a button-down shirt or sweater, khakis, a dress that extends below the knees, knee-length skirt combined with a sweater or button-down blouse. So a good rule of thumb is that clothing should not be too tight or too revealing, and you should also not be made of casual fabrics such as cotton. And then we see here a picture of what business casual looks like. So as we look around the room, we see subtle colors still for the most part. We don't see bow ties on, we don't see full-on suits on. It looks very casual and what a day-to-day work basis looks like for them. So now let's compare the two, or what's the main difference? Business casual here on the left, business professional on the right. So we look at our business casual and we see there's no full-on suits, there's no bow ties. It's extremely just casual work setting, everyday office setting vibe. And then we look over to the right, full-on suits, full-on tie, and it looks like low heels and yeah, very presentable, depending on where they work at, let's say a law firm. Overall, business casual could eventually turn into business professional if, let's say, right here on the left, if she were to throw on a matching jacket, perfectly can transform to business professional. And then vice versa, business professional, if he were to unloosen the tie or get rid of the jacket and just keep it casual, that works great as well. So now, what do I wear to an interview or career fair? These are just some examples, but when it comes to wearing a suit, make sure that it's well fitted. You don't want it to be extra large or it's just falling off you or you're struggling to hold your pants up. You want to make sure it is well fitted, and again, if it's too large, it could also be too small and just make not only you feel uncomfortable, making others looking at you say, it's a little small on them, or it might not fit them that well. So yeah, you want to make sure everything just fits well around. And then we move on to the pants. So not only do you want to make sure you're wearing a belt around your pants and not just holding them up, but you also want to ensure they're not hitting the floor, like the bottom length of it. You also want to avoid any skinny, tight cut pants. When it comes to shirts, you want long sleeve is preferred when you're wearing a suit. Don't wear those collared short sleeves. Long sleeve is the way to go. Your shirts should be tucked into your pants, as mentioned many times before. And then when it comes, if you decide to pair your suit, swapping out the pants for a skirt, make sure that they're at the knee or longer. And then blouses, shorter long sleeve preferable. Ensure that there's an appropriate neckline. And if you're unsure, just questioning, can I wear this, can I not? Make sure you play it safe and just wear an undershirt. Yeah, no way to go wrong with that. Same thing, you want to tuck in your shirt, and then overall just no loud obnoxious colors when it comes to what you're pairing your suit with, or if you're going for the business casual, what the top of your shirt will look like. So overall, like I said many times before, you just want to make sure you feel and look good. So if you when it comes to meeting all these employers, the last thing you want to do is worrying about, hey, if I shake someone's hand, will my pants fall, or will they loosen up, or if I reach out and then my suit comes completely up. Some of those things are the last thing you should worry about when it comes to finding your next internship or your next future job. Any questions so far? No? Okay. So now, besides career fairs, besides the interview, there are other occasions where it comes up to dress in professional wear. So we have, of course, the general career fair. Let's say your school is hosting 200 employers, so you go to meet them. In this situation, we recommend you dress in business professional. Now, let's say you're having a lunch on with an employer. Our employer has a setting where everyone's coming to lunch just to talk about internship opportunities. Then we could keep it business casual. Now, if there's a student conference going on, um, let's say another school is hosting a big event or recruiters are coming to hire interns, you want to do business professional. You will be interacting with professionals and employers. Um, when it comes to meeting with a recruiter in any setting, if they're looking for employees, once again, these are people who will get the first impression off you based on what you wear. Even before talking, they could see you walking towards them, and the first impression they get is, oh, look at what they're wearing. Professional workshops. So this itself is a workshop, right? And it's not like you're all required to have on business professional wear. But when it comes to, let's say, an employer, like Google employer, coming to talk about professional workshops or helping with assisting in a professional workshop. And then let's say he's recruiting or at the end just seeing what the students are interested in. You want to dress business casual for that, depending on what the requirements are. And then an internship or a job informational. So this is when employers are coming to your classroom or employers are just coming and let's say if you're a criminal justice major, they're coming to visit the CJ department and this is just for you to wear business professional as well. Um, it's a chance for you to meet the employer. It's a chance for you to learn about what that internship entails. Um, but please know all business wear is recommended. However, if there's a dress code, follow it. So if the invite says, please dress in business professional, then please do so. Always follow if there's a guideline. If not, it's safe to play it with what's recommended up here. Can you all think of any scenarios or events you've attended where you were either too dressed down or too dressed up? I mean, worst case scenario is that you're overdressed, but it's better than being talked about where if you were to go into a business professional setting and you were underdressed, like if you walked in flip-flops, then it might be like, oh, okay. But if you come into like a business casual setting and you're in a full-on suit, it's as easy as just taking your jacket off, putting it on the chair, and then going on about your day. So now we gave you all these tips on how you should look at and what to look out for. So now where do I go buy this professional wear? So there's stores like JCPenney, H&M, Forever 21, Burlington. All these stores are highly recommended. So one thing NMSI offers is professional apparel. So depending on your student needs assessment and what that looks like, we're able to provide that for you. And what we recommend for NMSI participants, or what we've seen NMSI participants do, is shopping at these places. I mean, you really get a lot for your money. For example, Burlington, they have full-on suits that are super inexpensive. JCPenney is a big one. They offer many different types of professional wear for a good price. And then if retail stores are not an option, there's always an opportunity for you to borrow from a friend, from a family member. You could go thrifting. Ultimately, you just want to have a nice blouse or a nice button-up shirt with slacks, and that will work perfectly great. And for these stores, really, whatever your preference is, whatever you're most interested in, works great. So now we're talking about how to dress, where to dress, and then told you where to shop at. So now let's say you have your full-on outfit for this event, what next? So things here are to know on what not to wear, what not to do. So plunging necklines. Like I said, if you have any doubt or if you're just debating like, oh, is this shirt too revealing or is this too much? Chances are just play it safe and wear an undershirt. When it comes to headphones, if you're walking around at a career fair and you have your AirPods in, your headphones on, it shows employers that you're not interested to talk to them. It shows that basically you're blocking them out. I know if someone were talking to me with AirPods in, I'd be like, are you listening to me? Or do you have music playing in the background? And then perfume or cologne. You don't want to come into an interview or meeting employers when you're completely stench and reeking of this perfume or cologne that you oversprayed on yourself. You don't know what that person's allergic to. You don't know how they're going to react to it. if this person's coughing like every 3 minutes during your interview, it might just not show them the best person of you, and they might not get the full responses from you because they're too busy coughing during your interview. And then casual attire. You don't want to walk into an interview in just flip-flops and some shorts and a baseball cap. You want to show your employers that you took the time to get ready. You took the time to make sure you're very presentable and go to this event. And when it comes to casual attire, anything from rolling out of your bed may not be the best option. You really want to put time into meeting these employers. They're taking their time out of the day to meet with you, so it should work vice versa as well. Any dirty shoes, you really want to make sure you're not walking into your interview, leaving mud marks from your shoes, or during your interview where you're walking up to the employer and the first thing they notice is, wow, they have mud all over their shoes. Just make sure you wipe them down, polish it, nothing too extravagant, but as always, make yourself very presentable from head to toe. And then the accessories. If, for example, just wearing, let's say, your watch, then you have a bunch of bracelets on, then you have some rings on each finger, like that might be too distracting for the employer. If you're interviewing and you have all this bling on, it might just distract them from trying to understand what you're saying. Or if you're talking and you're saying, oh, okay, like so and so, for example, I like to talk with my hands. So if I were to have like rings on every finger or a bunch of bracelets on, it might distract you from what I'm actually saying and speaking. So now that you have all your professional wear, this is some things to avoid, or some things that you might want to save or leave at home. So now general guidelines. So first things first, you want to keep your hair clean and well kept. You don't want to roll out of your bed, put on the perfect suit, and then forget to completely do your hair. You want to ensure, like I said, if you're taking the time to dress nice, you also want to ensure that your hair looks nice. And another note on that, if you are showering and then you go straight to your interview with your hair soaking wet, that's also not the best choice. When it comes to facial hair, make sure that is well groomed and well kept. Mentioned many times before, but clothing needs to be ironed. If you take off your jacket at any point, or it's getting too hot and you take it off to reveal just wrinkles all over your shirt, it's not the best look to give to employers. And then don't wear too much makeup. Don't overdo it with the makeup. It could be distracting, and what you wear to an interview shouldn't look like what you're wearing to the club or what you're wearing later that night. Just keep it very neutral. And then avoiding extremely high heels. So if you're at a career fair and let's say you have to walk around and talk to employers, let's say there's over 200 employers, you're going to be exhausted by the time it gets to, I don't know, the 5th employer you're talking to. And your feet might hurt. I mean, you're walking around in these high heels, so it's best to play it safe. You don't want to break out your heels that first time that you're wearing them and try them out at this career fair, this event. Play it safe, wear low heels, or if you do want to have a nice pair of high heels on and you know you're going to be doing a lot of walking, play it safe and just throw your flats into your bag and just carry those around and swap when needed. Any other questions on these guidelines or how to go about things? I know we mentioned things not to wear, and then we also do general guidelines. So anything on that? No? So now you're all dressed, or you're all set to dress for success. If there's any questions at all, or you want to contact us to get more information on NMSI or just when the next workshop series will be, there is our contact information. This is the general NMSI contact information. This just ensures that everyone on the NMSI team can see it. And yeah, if you have any questions come up later on, feel free to contact us, or if you want to follow up on something or unsure of what I said during the presentation, feel free to reach out and then we'll be glad to help you. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and we hope to see you at our next workshop series. Bye-bye.